what's the status on the filing here, buddy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they've just filed in Austin, and they're ready to go. Yeah. We have Mary Helen Berlanga, County Judge, Lieutenant Colonel Wesley Craig Reed, Congressional District 27, and a slew of candidates on the bench. Yeah, we're going to be going live here from the Unity headquarters in about 15 minutes. So if you want to join us, we have one of the news trucks already here. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, statewide candidates. I know we got Gina Benavides, hometown judge here, is running for state Supreme Court to join the very elusive ticket. Yeah, we'll see you here in 15. Thank you.
Well, Joseph, thanks for joining us. And anyway, Tommy Guns is here. And Carlos, I see right over here. What does this wall here represent?
It's just a bunch of friends that we like to hang out.
Oh, I see that Eva Longoria is also here. You interviewed her at our own Wendy's right there.
Yeah. Yeah, myself, Carlos Lopez on Lopez Broadcasting. We did it there.
There you go.
You know, you got the chair from Bexar County, Speaker Pelosi with the chair from Bexar County. Right here with our Texas delegation, Congressman Phil Vela, Congressman Henry Cuellar, and Congressman Joaquin Castro, Leader Pelosi, there at an event that we had here in South Texas.
So who are we at right now? We overheard you talking on the phone, so everybody filed, and it's going to file. It's 6 p.m.
It's 6
past
p.m.
now.
It's time to put it to bed. We've got a great slate of candidates. We had Lieutenant Colonel Wesley Craig Reed file for Congressional District 27.
Marine fighter pilot.
Marine fighter pilot, 23 years, serving our country. We also have, of course, at the top of the local ticket, Mary Helen Berlanga.
Excellent lawyer, excellent leader.
She's going to be on the ticket to be the first Latina county judge here of Nueces County.
Oh, wow.
So we're excited. We're ready to go. Our judicial benches are filled. We're ready to rock and roll.
And Rose Mesa Harrison, of course, running
Rose
for...
Mesa Harrison on the 105th.
Against Angelica Hernandez.
Michelle Villarreal cooked the 148th.
Is that against Guy?
No, not 148. 319th.
Oh, so
the
against Missy Maderi.
No. Against David Stith.
Oh, David Stith. So sorry. Yes, that's David Stith's bench. Right.
Yes,
right.
yes. And then Augie Rivera and Mark Gonzalez have filed for the 148th.
Really? That's the one we were thinking about, Guy Williams.
Yeah.
So both of them are
County Court 5, you've got another group of great candidates. Judge Marty Huerta, Judge Mel Madrigal, and Attorney Jackie Chapa.
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to be loading this up on YouTube, and hopefully you'll share it on your site with everybody.
Yeah.
It's real time. I know you're busy.
As soon as I get to sit down, I'll be able to. I've been trying to post stuff from my phone on
please.
Facebook.
We'll let you get to work.
And let's go next door and see what's going on.
Absolutely. And we're back after a brief break. You're watching South Texas Crossfire with your host, Attorney Joe Flores. And with me, love him, hate him, but never ignore him. We've got the publisher of El Defensor magazine. How you doing, Homero? How you doing?
Glad to be here, Joe.
All right, you want to jump in feet first on the politics? I mean, that's what we live for. We inhale it around here. So a lot of people filing around the coastal bend on politics. What's your view of the election cycle this year?
I think that it's not a presidential year. I think there's might be something in the formula. You know, the Democrats are concerned. I talked with party leaders.
Yes.
But you just never know. They're saying there might be a Republican comeback. But it really doesn't matter.
The shellacking of 2010? What are we talking here?
I think it all comes down to organization. Politicians sometimes they focus too much on their personality, and sometimes that pipes through into the psychology of the people. A campaign is about organization. A small organization can snowball overnight. You recruit other groups. Nowadays, the environment is not like in the old traditional times where we had the palanca that people pretty much were the old feudalistic caste system where
No, the other Republicans pulled the lever like that.
but
You know?
the young people surprise me because voy por el candidato. I'm going for the person that's gonna take care of me, take care of my family, that orbits my world. That's there, not somebody that's up there in the balcony staring down at me. And every time there's an election cycle for him.
Well, they don't see the distinction at the national level. You got Boehner, you've got Pelosi on the other side, you got people, they say they're the same animal.
Well, the problem with politics historically, I mean, since the beginning of time, if we look at maybe at evolutionary psychology or history.
Oh, heck yeah. Bust out the popcorn.
El político, what is the psychology of the traditional político? El político es...
Yeah,
hey,
caveman
man,
campaigning.
yeah, follow me.
Yeah,
follow
exactly.
Me, I'm one of you. And,
Follow me to the fire.
but the thing is that the new generations are more critical of políticos. Yeah. Your name is Gonzalez and you're Hispanic.
And
then
exactly, that's what I hear.
You forget me all year long. And
Yeah.
they're
Young
more
voters are
savvy.
getting savvy.
They're more savvy about the connections that are there. And I'm not going to do what my father did, get him back of a pickup truck and do that old palanca thing
The
anymore.
Casica system. Súbete. You're going to go vote. Here's who you vote for. You know?
And that's very healthy because, again, evolutionary history is follow me. So you know that ustedes, I'm one of you. But people are saying, ¿sabes qué? I got to be a little bit critical. What's your tenure? What's your Trek history? What's your... No.
Yeah. I don't want to get into that. Issues.
Look at judicial races. I think I read by the UNESCO, one of the international organizations, that in the United States, judges, believe it or not, are don't disclose most of their financial records. And the IRS now is also stepping into the
Oh my
the
God!
new,
Can we take a break?
501c4s,
Oh hell no!
There's a lot of social nonprofit organizations that are. There used to be the 501(c)(3) tax exempt.
Right.
Then during the Bush administration, we had the 501c4 social welfare, where the nonprofits could actually campaign for.
Thanks, Carl Rove. Appreciate that one.
Now we're starting to see that they didn't disclose the people that were members of. We saw CALA, what was it? The Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse. We never knew the early history of CALA, that it actually emerged right here in Rio Grande, where they two undocumented workers crossed over and they didn't want to work for the Rio Grande sugarcane company. So the workers of the sugarcane company, mostly Anglos, lit up that field on fire, burned two undocumented workers. They hired,
Extremists love to burn things. That's
they
why,
hired some Tejanos, they filed
always
lawsuits.
burning houses, burning.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they burned
Burning crosses.
some Mexicanos, and they filed a lawsuit. I think it was for 1.7 million or something like that. This aroused the right-wing community in the valley. Then, as Carl Rove and other people came in, they created that social welfare organizations where they were able to channel money. You had CP&L. They met, and I think in West Local, Texas, and they were trying to get an Hispanic to be the. Here you had all this,
Sandoval or what was it?
So eventually. Sandoval from Corpus, by the way, he lives here in Corpus.
He was the big wheel at
He
CP&L
became
back in the
The
day.
head of CP&L agreed to it, and what they were trying really to manipulate was the CP&L was having trouble because they had a monopoly in I think here in Texas and blah blah. I just got carried away on a tangent, but my point is
That's what the whole show's about. Tangents, politics.
You have to be critical. You have to
Exactly.
peel that onion and see what's at the core.
Ask your judicial candidates what they're really running for. You know,
And it's about public integrity. So, right here locally, we see a lot of politicos coming back. And, I saw Carlos Valdez on Channel 6.
you know,
He said,
okay.
it's time for me to be judge. No, I'm going to run for judge. It's time
for me to be El Mero Mero again, you know.
I reached that point in my, come on, man. I mean,
There's nobody running against him. I mean, no offense, Mark Warner. In November, he's going to have to campaign hard to at least make it 52-48. I mean, because he has no opponent. Look, and here's the thing. And I was talking with Mark Skirka yesterday, you know, and I know he's going to start reaching for the Maylocks, but I'm not going to quote anybody. But I said, look, Carlos was used to having power as district attorney. He calls the shots as city attorney. Now, let me get this straight. You know, some people say they shoved Klager aside. And let me talk and say Klager did a great job. County Court of Law number 4, the best. I mean, you know, and let me tell you, and he's still going to be a visiting judge. He's an awesome judge. But how is Carlos going to ratchet back that power when he's going to have to sit there and listen to both sides? And it's not him saying, this is the show, this is the way it's going to be. It's like, nah, man, you're going to have to listen to both sides.
I knew Carlos when he initially ran.
Yes.
He came to Robstown. I was a young
Preach
man
it, brother.
of 16 or 17. They had this pickup truck, this trailer, and he got up there with little glasses. And
I wish you had a picture.
Soy de Molina. Soy uno de ustedes.
Soy un mexicano.
You know, my
Right,
last name
exactly.
is Valdez. And people, but people were proud of having this young Mexicanos get degrees, become lawyers. You had Robert Vargas and Robstown at the time.
Oh, he still represents, man.
You had Juan Perales. You had other attorneys at the time fomenting the community to get involved and change things, of course. And Valdez was idealistic. I mean, he had this paper, this agenda of things he wanted to humanize the system and make it better for everybody. And dijo, soy de Molina y todavía hablo español. You know, I haven't forgotten my roots. And people, yeah, you know, you could hear the energy, the pride of
I'm getting pumped up listening to this.
Of a people long alienated, you know, like Robstown, an agricultural community, seeing this young Mexicanos emerge, you know, and running for offices. But the thing is that over time, he became a county attorney and was there for a bunch of years. Then he ran for district attorney, and I think Rene Rodriguez ran against him on one cycle. Anyway, he was there a long time, and eventually he decides, boom, I'm going to disappear. In 2010, I'm going to become, all of a sudden he was hired by the city of Corpus Christi as the attorney, you know, and it was pretty much, it was just very fishy, very.
I'm still
very
trying to
bizarre,
figure that one out.
You know, because I think the attorney in Corpus is appointed by the city manager. I don't think even.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you know, and it's okay. You know, politics is politics.
Politics is
Whether he
politics.
likes it or not.
Look, I'm not trying to bash Carlos Valdez. I'm just saying he's kind of sliding home.
Yeah.
And he's saying, now I want to be judge.
yeah.
Now, that's
But
hilarious, you
remember,
know.
he had Victor
Let's just
Lara.
skip the election, you know.
He had most of the Hispanic media on his side throughout time. He
and
had this
now he's got the
network
caller
thing.
times on his side.
You know, he had Victor Lara Ortegon on
Oh,
KUNO. He had everybody you can think of, you know, and but then all of a sudden he finds himself in sort of a paradox. Now he's defending the city, and then he has all the civil rights organizations. Remember the issue of the Memorial Coliseum?
Yeah, didn't he threaten to like throw some people in jail
Well,
and
first they
fine them?
filed a suit, a restraining order. He said he was going to sue, you know, each
individual. They're like 80 years old.
So here they started to see Carlos in another.
Oh, that ticked me off. I'm going to have to be honest.
You know, so you know, talking about evolutionary psychology again, and I don't know if it's related.
Some veterans were threatened with a
you
lawsuit,
know,
right?
Veterans, the American GI Forum that had supported him for years.
Darn it, we got like 2 minutes left, but I know you can hit
My
home.
point is this: power is one thing, you know, respect is another. You know,
You know,
that virtue versus vice of power. You know, and
I love when you talk like that, brother. I love it.
It's you know, I mean, the way I look at power is A, there's no A is equal to B. It's either A over B or B over A. And I haven't seen the
A squared plus B
egalitarian,
squared.
a perfect utopia. And
There's
this
never,
particular
look,
game,
it's a
but-
sea of trouble. Politics, it's a full contact sport. It's not running for city council in high school. I mean, as it's student council in high school.
Yeah.
This is the real deal. I mean, thousands of dollars are spent, thousands of man hours, and you take off the gloves. Don't run if you don't have a thick skin.
Yeah. When I started El Defensor, newspaper, I started in the barrio of Robstown and in the Ranchitos here in Nueces County. I ran it because we had the Robstown Record owned by a German family that wouldn't run my articles and then would blast me on the paper, every time I spoke out. I came back from the university. Hey, I'm back. I got 2 master's degrees.
Congratulations!
Blah, blah,
Let's
blah.
blast
But,
him.
I started, advocating for the poor and not with the cream of the crop on the other. So I decided my paper, you know what, El Defensor, and people remember, I said, I'm just going to put it on this side of the tracks, only in the barrio. But on Sunday, you would see all this middle-class family. They would show up with their Cadillacs and open the window just a little bit and, hey, man, can I have a paper? And that's everything began somewhere. And we were pretty radical back then. And pretty much maybe people have said we've accommodated. Maybe we've grown in years and wisdom. But I think it's humanized the system. I think people have learned to tolerate me, and tolerate because I think...
Well, we love you around here, brother.
The new politics, the los políticos, I think there's more disclosure. I think it helped políticos put everything on the table and say, you know what, this is what I'm all about. This is where I live, my family. This is where I stand on the issues.
Exactly.
You're starting to see more where people are really, and then you got Facebook, your social media, you got...
there's nowhere to hide now. I mean, they're going to bring it out on you,
You get a bunch of groups there where, the information is out, an information age, and I think that you can no longer, the game has changed. We see Carlos Valdez, and I guess I'm using him as an example, and he knows the commentator.
And he knows we like him and everything. We're just
Valdez
saying,
that is returning. Is he the same Valdez that I saw in back of that trailer? Of course.
Am I the same Joe Flores that went to law school?
He's returning. I think that we saw recently in the city, and I was critical of those things, were the environmental justice.
The environmental court. Oh my gosh!
The elderly, the poor,
you got a stroke and a heart attack.
I went to see a man in jail that was arrested because he didn't have a clean yard, and I had to get an attorney to volunteer his services.
I try to set something 4 times over there. There is no communication. Thank God I got in touch with Amy, the prosecutor, and now we're finally on one senior, who's my father-in-law, by the way, who had a stroke.
If we have this elitist systems that emerge that just want to generate money, I know people got all sorts of complaints.
They're nickel and diming people.
How do you humanize the system? How do you humanize it? Well,
embarrass them on TV. How's that?
Don't listen so much to their propaganda.
Exactly.
Clearly, look at the world through your own eyes, through your own interests, and take action. Unite organizationally, like the late Dr. Hector Garcia used to say. As a person, you're going to die. You're going to pass away. How do you leave a movement that will continue? The way you do it is through organization, by uniting with people with common interests. And as long as you're united, there's a structure in place. You can make it grow. And because corruption will always be around. That yin-yang thing will the virtue versus vice, of power. And politicos need to be brought down a couple of pegs sometimes. We provide. Everybody join my bandwagon. It's time for me to be judge. That attitude needs to be changed. We need a.
I didn't say it. That's why I brought you on, you know. Yeah, it is time, my people. I will be judged,
And I'm
you
sure
know.
Carlos
Oh
would
my
agree.
gosh.
And just because
No, Carlos, I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to say, all right, you know,
Yeah.
is it true? It's time for you to be judged, you know.
invite me.
Yeah, I want you both to be there, like debating. Okay, we're gonna be back with Homero, okay? And you know, I get a little out of hand when we're here because I get really passionate with him. So, but we're gonna bring on some qualified candidates. But first, we're gonna bring on something that I think is very, very important to all of us, and that's about our children. And we're gonna be back with a couple of very special guests when we come back.